configure approval hierarchies. Today we'll discuss supervisor hierarchy and position hierarchy. For position hierarchy, I have already given the steps here. For supervisor hierarchy, you have to create a job and make sure you must enter the level. Job level is required, and create employees and assign job, comma, manager to the employee. Assign job, comma, manager to the employee. And configure approval rules. Configure the approval rules based on the matrix provided on the top of the sheet, or I would say middle of the sheet. In the middle of the sheet, I provided conditions matrix. Use that matrix to build the conditions and create transactions. Nothing but create documents, verify approval list, verify notifications, verify approval notifications and approve them. Verify approval notifications and approve it. Okay. So here the configuration is create a job and then create an employee and assign job to the and manager also to the employee. Okay. So we need a test data to configure this. We need test data to configure this one. Okay. So we'll build the test data now. We have to create 2 employees now. So I'm going to define like this. I'm taking 2 jobs. One job is consultant and manager. Consultant and manager. These are the 2 jobs I'm planning to create. Consultant level is 10 and manager level is 20. Okay. So these are the 2 jobs and levels are 10 and 20. Okay. And I'm planning to create 2 employees also. I'm planning to create 2 employees. I'm planning to define so let us make Shilpa as a manager and then Sachin as a consultant. Okay, so I'm planning to create 2 employees and 2 jobs and 2 levels. Okay. So in the similar way, when you're trying, you better create 4 jobs. Like example, director, or you can create like this, senior manager. And director. So you can define 4 jobs and define 4 employees and try it. And I'm going to explain this with the 2 jobs and 2 employees, just to save the time, that's it. But the process is same for remaining 2 jobs and remaining 2 employees. Okay, I'm using the demo instance because we need to create user accounts, logins. That's why I'm using the demo instance. In the demo instance, you can enter into any user, which we are providing, either SCM user or Fin user. So all the users are having IT security manager access. So to create the job, navigate to setup and maintenance. Navigate to setup and maintenance and click on, you can select any offering, not a problem. Either you can click on procurement or financials, go to work structure, and you will see the jobs creation here. You will see the jobs creation here. Click on manage jobs. Click on manage jobs. And click on create. And this is the reference data set. Let it be common and use the prefix to differentiate with other configurations. Consultant and code. Code, okay, short code. This is nothing but. And click on next. And whether this job is a full-time or temporary, all these are optional. All these are optional. Just enter the job level. That's it. Enter the job level. That's it. Remaining details are optional. So United States job information, French job legislation information, Canada job information, all of them are optional. Need not to enter anything. So actually jobs creation is a responsibility of a HCM consultant. So if HCM also is in the implementation scope, then jobs creation will be done by them. Jobs creation, employees creation will be done by them. But if HCM is not there, if just a procurement and financials is there, then either you or financial guy, either one of you has to take the responsibility of creating the jobs. In that situation, just enter the level, it's fine. If you're not entering other details, it won't impact anything because other details are required for the HCM, Human Capital Management. Okay. And click on the next tab, evaluation system, and other details are optional. So profile information, you can add it. So just review the details that you entered in the first 4 tab, just review tab and then click on submit. So I just created one job. In the similar way, I'm planning to create one more job, which is manager. Enter the short code and enter the level. Job level is mandatory. Even though it's an optional field, without entering the job level, approvals are not going to work. Here it is optional field, but you should enter for approvals. And I'm directly submitting. Now after that, create employees. So where we create employees, we create employees from 2 places. Okay. One is manage users, where you provide short details, and other one is from the client groups. From the home page, we're going to click on the client groups and you click on the new person. You should click on the new person. So to create employee from new person navigation, you should have a human resource specialist role. To create an employee from here, if you are having application implementation consultant role, also fine. I'm creating from here because I can quickly create. enter the last name of the employee. First, I'm creating the manager record. Okay. And email address. So for testing, when you're trying, better to use separate email address for separate employees. So I am asking you to try with the 4 jobs and 4 employees, right? So you better create 4 email IDs also. If you are already using 4 email IDs, you can use those 4 email IDs. Otherwise, if you are using 1 or 2 email IDs, remaining email IDs, you create and try it. Okay? Use those email IDs here. So that approval notifications, it will also go to the email address, so that you can also clearly see the approval notifications in the email address, how the approval notifications are coming to the email and how you are able to approve. So you can clearly see that. Okay, so better to have your email address here. And I have one email address, I'm using it. And I have one more email address I also use for another user. Okay. And what is the username that you would like to create? I'm entering the username, or I'll enter username like this. And send username and password, let it be, and select the employee. And I'm using the demo instance, so that's why I'm using the demo data. Okay, so US legal entity is the demo data given by Oracle along with the application. And business unit is also US 1 business unit. US 1 business unit. Okay, that's it. No, it is not done. You have to enter the job. Enter the job. Shilpa is a manager, so enter job. Okay. So Shilpa, let's take Shilpa is the top employee, so that's why Shilpa is not having a manager. So your CEO is the top person, so your CEO will not have a manager. So I'm not entering the manager details here. And other details are optional. Department, in which department Shilpa is working, and then location, and all optional. Okay. So I'm enabling this checkbox, which means I would like to send the username and password to the given email address. The login details are shared to the given email address. So select save and close. So I created one employee, and in the similar way, I would like to create one more employee. Okay, I'm creating one more employee. I'm using one of my other email address. Legal employer, and approvers can be part of any legal entity and any business unit and any department. Approvers need not to be under same company. So what is the job? Consultant. who is a manager, attach the manager. So for supervisor hierarchy, this is important. Okay. So I'm associating the manager to the employee. Okay. So save the record. So to create and later configure approval rules. Configure approval rules. So we are done with the first two steps. And then later configure approval rules. And then we'll create a transaction. But before you create a transactions, you have to make this user to be ready to create purchase orders or to create requisitions. So to create purchase orders or to create requisitions, you have to assign them roles. You have to assign them roles. You have to assign them the data access. So you have to make the user ready to create the transactions. So we'll make the user to create transactions. I'm navigating to security console. Tools, security console. Because I would like to assign roles. I would like to assign roles. So see, it's been created. And I wanted to know the password. I'm keeping Oracle 123. In case if you want to use the same user accounts, you can use. I'm keeping Oracle 123 as a password. All small. If you want to try with the same users, you can try. In this instance, this is the second instance from the list that we are sharing. So employee role is required, and employee role basically required for every user. And after that, I'm directly assigning only buyer role because I would like to try only purchase orders. Okay. So the way I'm trying purchase orders, in the similar way, you try requisitions also. I'm selecting buyer role. Okay. And then open other user account. And for other user account, I would say you need not to prepare anything because other user is just approving the transaction. So from other user, we don't create any purchase orders. Just approver. Just an approver, which means Shilpa is just an approver. Shilpa is not a buyer. Is not a buyer. Shilpa is not going to create purchase orders. Shilpa is not going to touch the system. Shilpa only participates in the approval. That's it. Okay. So that's why I'm creating such an account. And I created such an account and I'm assigning buyer role to Sachin and provide the data access. Provide the data access to the demo business unit. Data access for users. select new and select the username, select the role, and this is controlled at business unit level because all the PO transactions are controlled at business unit level. So your security context would be business unit, and select the business unit here, the demo business unit, and save and close. So now Sachin, from Sachin login, we can create orders. And also, I wanted to reset the password of Shilpa account, manager account. So navigating to security console again. Small Oracle 123. Password is okay. So now let's log into Sachin account. And we're also missing one more setup. What is that? You're also missing one more setup. What is that? So out of your practice, by now you should be able to figure it out. What are the setups required? That is what the practice. So you need procurement agent, because if you don't have a procurement agent, you cannot create orders. The system is displaying the employee name, not the username. Okay. So I made Sachin as a procurement agent also. Password is Oracle 123, all small. So just verify. So whether Sachin is able to create orders or not. Okay. So Sachin is able to create orders. So with the buyer role, this is what the access that Sachin is getting with the buyer role. We just added buyer role. We are not added procurement manager, or we are not added procurement administrator. And we should also need to configure approval rules. Okay. So if you don't configure procurement agent, then this will be empty. This will be empty. Okay. Now, procurement and purchase order approvals. it's going to display as purchase document approvals. The task name is purchase document approvals, not the purchase order approvals. So you can configure pre-approval stage, approval stage, and post-approval stage. And I'm going to show you 2 stages. You can try with all the 3 stages. So I'm going to show you approval and post-approval stage. So right now one stage is already enabled. I would like to take a stage which is not having more roles. Let's see hierarchy, serial 3. Okay, the stage is empty. Okay, I'm going to use this stage. I'm using the serial stage. I'm going to explain you serial now, and during the position hierarchy time, I'm going to clearly show you the difference between parallel and serial, how the approval list is going to display, and how the approval notifications are going to trigger. I'm going to clearly show you in the position hierarchy. Okay. Right now, I'm taking this stage, the serial stage. Let me disable this one so that it will also fire. Okay, so I'm using this serial 3 stage and write the conditions. So your conditions can be based on, your rules are based on the generally approval limit only, approval amount your rules are based on. So the rule name should give the meaning of the condition. The rule name should give the meaning of the condition. So US, which means this rule belongs to US business unit, and same or less than, which means less than or equal to 5,000, which means less than or equal to 5,000. Okay. Select OK, and then click on add condition. Click on add condition. Now you have to select the business unit. So procurement BU, and the operator is equals to, and then select the BU name. Select the BU name. Okay. And I would like to add one more condition. I would like to add based on the amount, document total. While operator less than or equal to 5,000. Less than or equal to 5,000. And one more condition. And one more condition is it is not a change order. See here, does not equals to change order. It is not a change order, it's a original order, not a change order. And the type of the document is I'm not sure the exact attribute name. It's a purchase order type or something else.
Document style it will.
Document style is equal to purchase order. So which means this rule is applicable to all these conditions. So let us see anything I can build under single rule itself. So this is the matrix. So we are using amount and the document style and a requisition. Backing requisition. Backing requisition should be there. Should be there. Okay. Otherwise, you can select no. If there is no backing requisition, is also fine. Okay. And these are the couple of conditions. We are not written condition on the currency. We'll write that as well. And approval required. And I would like to follow supervisor hierarchy. And the chain should start from which person? Request of the document, or buyer of the document, or submitter of the document. Submitter means, let us take Sachin is the buyer. Sachin created a PO, and Sachin just saved the PO, but I'm submitting it. So approval chain should start from which person? Okay, I would like to start from the buyer, and approval should start from the buyer. So one, who is the top employee? So right now we have this employee as the top employee, Center Shilpane. So if it is less than or equal to 5,000, it only goes to buyer, and that to one level. So if I keep one, what happens? Let's see. Okay, and this is the top person, and click on OK. Click on OK. So one more important thing is currency attribute. I told you already, if you want to hardcode directly currency, so we are talking about 5,000. The 5,000 is belongs to which currency? It belongs to the 5,000 is 5,000 US dollar or 5,000 INR, or what is the currency? So you can add currency conditions straight away here. Okay, but to accept all the currencies, you have to create user defined attribute. I'm creating name as dollar, and I would like to convert the purchase order amount to US dollar. And conversion rate is corporate. So which means the amount in the purchase order always get converted to the dollar. And here These approval task attributes are nothing but standard attributes. If you switch to user defined attributes, so you can select the user defined attribute that you created. So here select less than or equal to 5,000. So which means if you are creating a purchase order for Indian rupees or Singapore dollar or Hong Kong dollar, everything get converted to the US dollar only, and approval is going to follow based on the condition. So this is one more important attribute, user defined attribute. Okay, so which means you are allowed to create purchase order in any currency and it get converted to the US dollar, and approval is going to trigger according to that. Saving and create one more rule. So instead of freshly creating, just duplicate it so that you can save some time. Go to actions and duplicate and change the rule name. This time it is more than 5,000. More than 5,000. So only thing that you have to change is the less than or equal to condition. So you have to change here to greater than 5,000. And if it is greater than 5,000, and I want the approval should go to 2 levels. Okay, 2 levels. So in the similar way, you can configure approval rules for suppose if you are having 4 employees, so what you can do is less than or equal to 5,000, between 5,000 to 10,000, and 10,000 to 50,000, 50,000 to 5 lakhs, more than 5 lakhs, you can configure that way and deploy it. So let me enable this stage. I'm enabling this stage. Okay. Now we are ready to create purchase order because we have created approval rules. We need supplier. So in the demo instance, you can pick up the lease suppliers, lease supplies, and buyer is searching. And our approval hierarchy is going to follow buyer. So for purchase requisitions, approval hierarchy, generally 90% of the clients, they follow the requester hierarchy. And for purchase orders, buyer hierarchy. This is taking some time. Still trying to create order. So we just fill the header details and let's fill the line details and save the PO. So you can try with the expense PO. You need not to create items again here. You can try with the expense PO. Or you can use demo items. Demo item starts with the AS prefix. AS. If you just enter AS 0, you'll get list of demo items. You can use any item. So you can also write a condition here saying that auto approve backing requisition exists. Because I would like to auto approve the PO because it has the requisition, and anyway requisition is approved. Requisition is approved. So we have taken the necessary approvals in the requisition itself. So we don't need again approvals to be followed for the PO. So in that situation, you can write like this, see here, backing requisition exists. Now the other two conditions, backing requisition no, but this condition is backing requisition exists. So I'm selecting yes. Because requisition is already approved. So again, we don't want to follow any hierarchy of approvals for PO. So I'm setting up automatic approval. So this is also a requirement from the client, generic requirement. Okay, so you can create expense item, expense PO. Okay. Otherwise, you wanted to try with the item-based POs. As I said, use a AS prefix and then type 0. So you'll get item list and select the item. Okay, so this is also a software. So which means this is also an expense item only, not inventory item. This is, so like inventory items, you can also configure expense items. Only difference is for expense items, costing should be no, and inventory item should be no, stockable should be no. Stockable should be no, inventory item should be no, costing should be no. Enter quantity and enter the price. I'm trying with 2000, which is less than 5000. I'm trying the first condition, less than 5000. And you have to enter either promised delivery date or requested delivery date. Either one of the attributes you have to enter. So that's why I'm selecting edit line. And select the date. I'm selecting today, that's fine. Okay, and click on OK. And save. Now, do not submit, verify the approvals here. Verify the approval here. Approvals here. Okay. Whom should approve? Sachin. So you have to remember one means one person. Remember like that. One means one person. So in the approval conditions, we entered level as 1. We entered level as 1. So approval is going to start from buyer itself, and it should go to how many? 1. That means it will go to only Sachin. And if you see here, reason, so it's a sequential participant. See here, it is showing the participant, sequential participant, and the assignee is Sachin. And if you move your cursor to this side, it will show you. It's not showing completely. See, the reason is nothing but the role name. What is the role name? US same or less than 5,000. So this is the new enhancement coming in the recent releases. Earlier we are unable to find the rule from here, but it is very good that we can see the role name also. So it is very easy for us to troubleshoot in case of any issues that is going to occur. Okay. And I'll take your questions. If you're having anything, please wait for some time. And I'm going to create this PO more than 5,000, so which is 6,000, because I changed the quantity so that automatically 3 into 2, which is 6,000. And go to manage approvals and see Sachin and Shilpa. So 2. It means 2 levels means 2 persons. Okay. Now I have created a PO in US dollar, but we can create PO from any currency. I'm selecting GBP. But the problem is you should have a conversion rates defined in the system. If it is defined, you don't have any problem to create a PO. So see here, directly I'm changing the currency, and this is a conversion rate type. And according to today's date, this is the conversion rate between US to GBP. Okay. Now we have written condition based on this field. Based on this field, total amount. Okay. So you can create order in any currency because we have used a user-defined attribute, so that the system is going to convert other currencies to the US dollar. And if that amount is less than US dollar 5,000, it will go to 1 level. If it is more than $5,000, it will go to 2 level. Okay. And this is also in case of backing requisition. No. If you don't have a requisition only, then only you want system to follow approvals. If you are having a requisition, you want the PO to be automatically approved. Okay. Now let's submit this PO. And also, since it is a serial, it is showing the approvers in the serial list. It is showing the approvals in serial list. Suppose if you configured under parallel. Right now we configured under serial. Suppose if you have configured under parallel, so in this stage, where is the parallel? Yeah. If you configured under this stage, so what happens? system is going to display these approvers side by side, and also notification is going to, so generally in case of serial, first notification goes to Sachin. Once Sachin approves, then notification goes to Shilpa. But in case of parallel, approval notification is going to send to Sachin and Shilpa at the same time. So generally, after consultant approval, it should go to manager approval. After manager approval, it should go to senior manager approval notification. So generally, most of us, we prefer that way. That's why we don't prefer parallel stage mostly. So serial stage we prefer. In case of parallel stage, what is happening? So to the list of approvers, the parallel approval notification is going. So parallel stage, which is good in case of first responder wins. In case of first responder wins, you can send approval notification to all the approvers. Anyone approves, that's fine. That's what we need in case of first responder wins. Okay, and I'm submitting this PO for approval. So I'll show you the approval notification. And anyway, we are in Sachin login. Sachin should be able to see the PO from here. You have to wait for a few seconds. It is not. So what you can do is you can also click on this and go to more details. Allow the pop-up. Now it is still not showing. Yeah, it just came now. What is the notification title? What is the notification title? Approve purchase order. This is order number. Who is the creator? Sachin. And it is assigned to me today. Assigned to me today. This kind of notification is called as action required notification. This is not FI. This is not FI to me. This is action required notification. So click on the notification. And being an approver, verify the amount firstly, and then verify the supplier details from which supplier you are buying. And you see the details from the PDF, purchase order PDF document. See here. So draft is nothing but before the approval, the purchase order document is going to show in the draft watermark. So once it is approved, automatically this draft watermark get removed. So being an approver, you can verify. So what is the payment term, which item we are buying from the supplier, what is the cost, what is the dates. So you can verify the details. I think this is the first time you are viewing the purchase order PDF format, because in another instance we are having issue to generate this file, but here we are able to generate. So the first page is the supplier details, and then our company details and generic terms and conditions. And in the second page, this is order number, order date, ordered value. Change order is 0 because there are nothing changes happened on this order. If any changes happen, then change order may be 1 or 2. So supplier details, and shipment is nothing but our address. The supplier has to deliver the product to this address, and supplier has to deliver the invoice to this address. And payment terms, freight terms, and we just ordered one item and price, and quantity, which is multiplied and then order value is 6,000, and total order value is 6,000. Okay. So this draft watermark, it will display till the document get approved. After that, automatically this draft watermark get removed when you are sending to the supplier. Okay. Now, from this BPM notification, so either you can approve or you can reject. If you are not satisfied, you can reject, or if you want more information, you can click on request information. So you want to ask any questions, you can ask from here. Okay, so the buyer has to provide the details, and again buyer has to submit the document for your approval. Okay. Now, so while trying this, you can also try vacation rule setup for these users. Now I'm approving the document. Not entering any comments. You want to write any comments or you want to attach any file, you can attach. And before approving it, I wanted to log into Shilpa account also, because since it is a serial, you should not receive approval notification. Since it is serial, Shilpa should not receive approval notification till Sachin approves. Let us see from here. Go to more details. See, Shilpa has not received it because it's a serial, not parallel. In case of parallel, so Sachin is going to receive and Shilpa is going to receive at the same time. Okay, now I already opened my email address, but I think I'm not receiving the emails from this instance. No, I haven't received any approval notification to my email address. Haven't received. So you can actually verify the approval notification from the email, but I'm not receiving it. Maybe sometimes it's a system delay. Later you might receive. Sometimes it might be a system delay. So I'm approving from here itself. So you can approve from here if you don't want to open BPM work list at all. You can straight away approve from here also. Pending notification and all notifications. Now Shilpa. So from Sachin login, suppose if you don't want to click on more details, no need to click on more details and open it. So you can straight away approve from here. You can straight away click on and open it. Otherwise, straight away you can approve from here. Or you can approve from the email also. Okay, approved. Now open the PO. To open the PO, I should navigate to the purchase order. Go to manage orders. Click on search. And so it's still showing pending for approval because we got only 1% approval. Now you can see it's approved by Sachin along with the time also. If Sachin has any documents attached, then you can see those documents here. We not attached anything. So it is approved by Sachin. Right now it is assigned to Shilpa. Okay. And also you'll see here assigned. Okay. And it is assigned by whom? Sachin. So this is nothing but your previous approver name. This is nothing but your previous approver name. Suppose, let's take Krishna. If I'm creating the purchase order, it goes to first to Sachin approval, and later it goes to Shilpa approval. So whatever you see here, name is not a buyer name. Okay, it is the previous approver name. So there was a confusion in the projects by the clients. This is not the submitter name, or this is not the buyer name. So this is the previous approver name. So because the notification has forwarded from the previous approver to the new approver. Okay. And approve it from Shilpa login. Open it. So you can try this particular exercise from by creating 4 employees if you want. If you're not satisfied with the 2 employees, you create 4 employees and then try this exercise. You can reject and you can try request for more information. All the other things you can try. Okay, and it's been approved from Shilpa also. Now again. Okay, now the status is open, which means approved. And if you click on that status, you can still see the document action history. Who is submitted? Sachin has approved. Who is the first approver? Sachin. Who is the next approver? Shilpa. So this is the original document. There are no, that's why the revision is 0. There are no change orders. There are no change orders. Select done. Okay. Now if you wanted to modify, this purchase order, if you wanted to create any change order, after the approvals, you can modify the PO. This is called as buyer change order. Now I'm changing the quantity. Decreasing the quantity. And if I click on submit, what type of change is external? Automatically the system is identifying the change. It is external change, which means it should be communicated to the supplier. It is not an internal attribute, it's an external attribute, because you're changing the quantity that should be communicated to the supplier. It's an external attribute that you changed. Okay, and now if you click on manage approvals, you will get an error because we have not configured the approvals for the change order. Because while writing the conditions in the condition we clearly mentioned that approval rule should not be applicable, does not equals to create change order. So for change orders, you can configure separate approval rules. You can configure separate approval rules for the change order. But right now in our approval rules, we written condition that those rules should not be applicable to change orders. You can try other scenarios also, nothing but you create a requisition and process the requisition into purchase order, and purchase order should be automatically approved based on the backing requisition exist condition. Navigating to purchase document approvals. So now when you're writing conditions for change orders, so you can write Again, I'm duplicating, but I'm going to change the rule name. This is nothing but change order. And for internal changes, I would like to auto approve. Change order internal, I would like to auto approve for internal changes. So see the rule name. The rule name should give the meaning of the conditions that you are planning to write. So if it is internal change, it can be any amount. It can be any amount. That's why I'm removing the amount condition. And the change order I'm changing from does not equals to equal. That means in case of change order. In case of change order, and how you are creating the change order. You can also create change order using REST services. Nothing but using integrations also you can create an order, or you can update the order. So if you're selecting this one means, you are creating change order manually. So which method you are using to create a change order? You are creating change order manually, or you are changing the order or updating the order using integration REST API service, or you are using FBDA template. Okay, but I'm selecting create change order manually. And if you want, you can also add one more condition. Say that or condition you can write. It can be so you can write or condition. So or condition means you can I think it's better to write this or condition at the end. Let me show you. I'm also deleting from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add at the bottom. I'm selecting first of all internal, because I want this condition to be applicable for internal changes. I'm selecting internal. Okay. If it is internal change order, and change order creation method, it can be create change order. I'm going to write or at the end. I never used that parenting part. You can use that. You can try that. Or instead of writing like this, what you can do is, let me show you the simplest way. Instead of equals, you can select in. So in, you can select create change order, and that means you're accepting the change order using REST API. I'm not sure what that means. Write one below percentage. What is that? Other values. Let me see those other values. Purchase order REST service. Import purchasing document change. So I'm accepting the changes happen manually, and changes happen through FBDA template, and the changes happen through REST API integration. Either web services or REST API. I'm selecting both. Okay. So for internal changes, see, I don't want the approvals for internal changes, because anyway original PO is already approved. This is just a change order, and that to internal changes. I'm selecting auto. I'm selecting auto approve. Okay. What about external changes? External changes really it required approval. So you can change the rule name to external. And again, in the external changes, you can also write your condition. If the change amount is within 5,000, then this person should approve. Or within 5,000 to 10,000, this person should approve. You can configure like that. Okay. If the external changes is, if it is same or less than 2,000, a small amount, or 100, a small amount, small change. This is external change, but it's a small change, $100. Okay, so but you have to write the condition on the. You have to change the type to from internal to external. You have to change here, internal to external, and you have to write the amount also. Okay, document total. Okay, so we are also writing a condition this time. Okay, auto approve. Sorry, not 2,000. Our rule name is 100, right? So for small changes, I would like to auto approve. Even though it's an external change, but for small change, I would like to auto approve. So like this, you can write the conditions for 5,000 or 5,000 or 10,000, and you can call the actions. You can call the actions. So that is about supervisor hierarchy and couple of conditions. So today we discussed one stage of approval. And in tomorrow's session, I'll introduce 2 stages, because in tomorrow's session, I'm going to explain your position hierarchy. So at the time, we can introduce 2 stages. I'm going to show you how 2 stages are going to work, nothing but more than 1 stage. So you can try all the conditions that I discussed today, all the conditions that I entered here. And apart from these conditions also, whatever conditions that are available in the list of values, try to view them one by one. Try to view those attributes one by one, so that you can understand easily. So which attributes are available to write the conditions. So mostly all the attributes are available from the purchase order page. From the purchase order page, mostly all attributes are available. So far on the project that I worked, so these are the conditions I used. And apart from these conditions, we never get deviated from other conditions. Okay. So there are some other clients which may prefer to have some other conditions, but this is what my project examples I discussed today. Okay. So you can try based on the category. You can try based on the delivery location. You can try based on the type of purchase order also. So for expense PO, I want to configure these approvals. For inventory PO, I want to configure these approvals. So you can try that also. Okay. try all those scenarios which I have mentioned in the approval conditions matrix. So that is about supervisor hierarchy for today. Tomorrow I'll continue with the position hierarchy. And then we'll discuss job hierarchy also, job level hierarchy. And approval group and single approval I have already discussed, but I'm going to recap you quickly since we are discussing approvals again. I'm going to recap approval group and single approval again. Okay. So that's it from my side. Any questions?